some of them are happening this way. I don't think that's a question.
Okay, so there's a question about if there's a platform to meet students for teammates. Honestly, it could be your friends. There's actually Facebook groups for a bunch of different engineering undergraduate degrees. So you could honestly sign up to those, and you could just literally message being like, oh, I want to do this competition. Does anyone want to join me? So literally, there's so many resources. Ask around. So just look into the Facebook thing.
And yeah, responding to Facebook messages is a thing that you should do. A lot of associations respond quick, so trust in that system.
And sometimes for competitions, sorry, Matt, do you want to say it?
No, go ahead.
No, and also for some competitions, even if you don't have a team, you could always register, and we could always put you in with a team. So you don't have to be stressed about, oh my gosh, I need a team. So.
Yeah, I was going to highlight basically what Abby said. For a lot of competitions, especially for first years, you're going to be thinking, I don't even know anybody. How am I even going to participate? But there's tons of competitions where you could sign up individually and you'll be put into a team. And that's how I started, right? And it's a really good way to see, like, oh, in this case competition that I was just paired up randomly, this one guy was actually really good. These other two guys were okay, but whatever. And so maybe you'll be contacting that guy and you're like, hey, we really killed it and we really carried. So let's just let's go the next one, the two of us, and let's see what we get. And then all of a sudden you have like an all-star team and you're representing Concordia at like a provincial level somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I also plan on starting, as the ECA competitions, I plan on starting a platform. I'm looking into starting a platform where all of the competitions can be discussed about, and you could get information on all the competitions. I'm looking on starting that this year.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Oh, yeah, that is actually pretty cool.
Before we are going to keep on answering questions, but before we wrap up, there is a little form to fill for everybody who stayed till the end of the entire 13 Muses Day 1. So we have like a little form that we're going to be putting in the Discord chat here. So fill it out. It's basically just putting your team name and your name. And I think there's like a simple question about, I actually don't know what the third question is. But yeah, so just fill that out so that your team could get extra points for your participation in staying till the end today. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for everybody for coming and staying and listening. And yeah, so we're going to stay on a little longer to answer any other questions. If there aren't any questions, I think Hamza has like a couple pre questions that are already done.
Yeah, I do. So one of them we already talked about, right? Which is, well, I'll ask them all anyways. First one, why should I care about competing in competitions?
Jobs.
Facts. That is very true. Nothing feels like being stuck between a rock and a hard place than graduating and not being able to find a job.
Yeah, especially now with COVID, if you're talking to people who who just graduated, it's not a fun situation for them. Yeah, it's not just jobs, guys. Like you'll be meeting teammates that might be older than you who will graduate, who can help you get a job actually. They're growing your skills and putting yourself out there to companies. I know tons of friends, even right here in the call right now, who they got their internships just by going to their competitions, showing that they did a good job, and then going to like talking at the wine and cheeses or the sponsor night. And then they're like, oh yeah, you know what, yeah, here you go. If you're interested, here. Like they're not going to say like, here, just here's your cap and come on Monday, but they'll give you like the opportunity for an interview. And it's amazing because especially like if you're not in co-op, for example, it's an amazing way to get into the front door, right?
You also get to travel depending on what competition you do. So I know Space Concordia, I see like have competition mainly in the States. As like last year, CCI was in Winnipeg. Yeah, Winnipeg, and like back in 2017, I was also part of the CSME team for the Mail Creator, and we got to go to British Columbia for like a week. So it's super nice. You get like sponsors paying for your flight tickets, get sponsors paying for like your expenses over there. So you're just traveling for free and also competing and like maybe even winning some prizes. So super nice.
Also to represent Concordia, go for the pride of your school to make
Exactly.
to show them what Concordia looks like, you know?
Show me what Concordia looks like.
This is what Concordia looks like. Oh, that was a fun time.
That was a
Um,
very underwhelming Concordia looks like chat.
it was. Uh, so I'll move on to the second question now, I guess. Should I only compete in competitions related to my major?
Not at all. I mean, competitions are to like challenge yourself. So who knows? Maybe you'll go into a competition that's not really directed like catered to your major specifically, and then all of a sudden you get hit with like, oh my god, like this is actually cool. This is what I actually want to do. So you never know what can happen. So definitely, I recommend just trying whatever spikes just a slight interest.
Nice, nice. The last thing that we want to talk about isn't necessarily a question, but it's for all the people, right, who feel shy or they don't feel like they're up to par with whatever they can provide in a competition, no matter what it is, right? So anyone who wants to say anything, what do you guys think about that? Or what do you have to say to those people who are shy and kind of reclusive and don't want to put themselves out there?
Well, I feel like
Faites les
competitions
jeux.
are just. Oh,
Sorry.
okay. I just want to say, like, competitions are just a great way to. I guess you're coming out of your comfort zone, but it's also still like kind of academic, so it makes you feel have a little like a comfort zone. But it's honestly a great way to just test your soft skills, just test your skills in general of like communicating with others and talking with others, because that's something that's very valuable, not just now. You're going to have, if you don't develop those right now, you're going to have a really hard time when you're going into the work field, because usually companies are looking for leaders. They're looking for people that could present themselves efficiently. So it's very important that you kind of try to get out of your little shell and go out, see the new things, see what you like and what you don't like, because the university is a great way to just look at what you want and what you don't want. And if you don't do it now, you might regret not doing it afterwards, because you're kind of playing with your career, and it's a bit more of a danger zone versus university.
Mm-hmm. Benzi, you had something to say.
Yeah, I was just saying, if like you guys are shy and like don't know where to get started in the university like life, just like consider joining some clubs. Like do la course like at Inch Games if you guys want to meet some people very fast. Like yes, from Concordia, but also in general in Montreal. Like make a ton of new friends. Just like check out our Facebook group for la course. It's basically the selection process to actually go to the games. But during that time, you get to know like people from like all over Quebec. Most of our events are gonna be on Zoom, so there's not like it's not a big worry about like COVID. But we are trying to organize with ECA some in-person event, because we all know that it's hard to build friendships online. So we're really doing our best to make sure we can bring you guys some events and make them safe for all of us.
Thank you. Thank you for putting that effort into making these events safe. I need friends. I was doing such a rough time even throughout my whole university career, and this is just wrapping my my whole undergraduate career in the worst way possible. But thank you. And
Can
with
I be
that
your
said,
friend, Hamza?
I don't know. I
Oh
don't know,
man. You're not my friend either. I'm disconnecting.
uh, but you know what? You know what? I'm a little bit desperate. I'll take it. Thanks, Matt. I'll have you as a friend. I'm a little bit desperate now.
Thanks. It's been a rough year for me.
We'll console each other. We'll console each other. But yeah, with that said, I think we're done. I don't see people asking questions. We answered all of the things we wanted to answer. Hopefully, all of you enjoyed all of the events that were provided throughout this.
Societies are looking for members, and recruiting will be difficult this year because of the circumstances that we have. And a lot of these societies, they need new members to keep the ball rolling and to continue the success that they've had. So yeah, don't be sure to check out the Discord channels, check out this different social media, really try and like get to know and contact people, because we need you. We really need you. That's it.
question on those lines. Can you join multiple societies?
Absolutely.
Yes, of course.
I participated in 2
You could
competitions
do
last
as
year.
much as you like. Don't get overwhelmed though. Remember, at the end of the day, societies are auxiliary to your education, right? You can't continue in your society if you if you're getting kicked out of the university. So make sure you focus on your studies and make sure you maintain your time management well. But societies are definitely the easiest and best way to make a university life actually a university life instead of just 4 years struggling.
I see there's someone in the chat who asked, can we join societies randomly during the year? So the ways most societies function, or at least I'll talk about the IAC because that's what I know the most. Maybe other societies function a little bit differently. But no, more often than not, there's like the team is set in stone throughout the year because they organize all the events for that academic year. And towards the end, which is of the winter semester, that's when a lot of societies will start putting out their request forms so that you can start applying for the positions in that society. And sometimes there's an interview section. Sometimes I'll ask you to just fill out a form and submit it. A lot of societies do it a little bit differently, I think. But yeah, so not throughout the year.
I could hop on and answer that a little more. So it really depends society to society and competition to competition. Some societies are not based on competitions, they're just based on general interest. And there's never like a period that you can or cannot sign up. So you just have to go and ask them, right? Some of them you could join all year round and you just be helping them out. Even if you're not officially part of like the executive team, you could still be volunteering and helping out with a bunch of other stuff. And it's a great way to get involved. That's how I got started really in all my societies. Was I first started out with helping out making a video for IASC, and then I did a couple years there. And yeah, like some societies, they do have a window that you can only join or like apply to join the executive for like a month, and then they do the interviews, and then the team is set in stone for most of the year, and then they bring you the events. Some other societies that do competitions, there's a selection process, such as the engineering games. Throughout the fall semester, there's a selection process, and then a set amount of people are invited to the final chalet where we see, and then we'll choose the final 44 people after that to go to the games themselves. There's some societies that it depends on how much you get involved with, right? Because I know for Space and SAE, there's tons of people who just go and they help out a little bit, and that's it. And then there's some people who are there like and they're so involved, and then they're going to California, and then they're going all over the place. So it depends from society to society. So just ask. That's the best way to know.
And
Ask
you
questions.
choose how involved you want to be. You know, if you go to a society, you say, I'm interested in what you're doing. Do you need even a little bit of help, or can I be all in? I want to be an exec next year. Give me all the jobs you can, and I can do that. Another thing, like he mentioned, Matt mentioned qualifying for Eng Games as in their selection process. CS Games is the same. CQI, you need to show up to Eng Olympics to be able to be chosen on the team. If you heard of a competition you're interested in, and you know there might be a qualifying or when the selection process might happen, keep an eye out on the Facebook pages and all of that to make sure you don't miss the selection process, because then you have to wait another year to do the competition again. That's what happened to me my first year. I missed pre-CQI, and then I couldn't go to CQI my first year.
Yeah, and I can even chime into a bit about like my experience with joining societies. I was mostly before like the ECA, I was part of like Space and SAE, and for me it's like I just walked in, like they have like their workspace called the Cage. It's at the hall building. You'll see it once you go back to school. I basically just walked into the Cage. I'm like, hey, can I get involved, whatever, in the middle of the semester? They're like, yeah, sure, you could do this. And again, it depends how involved you want to be with it too. It's like you could join and want to put 20-30 hours a week, and you could be a team lead after say year 2 or year 3, even be an exec if that's what you want. But again, usually the executive positions, they're pre-filled at the start of the year. But then most societies is that you could oftentimes, I would just walk in and be like, hey, I want to be part of this society. How could I get involved? Like, okay, meet this team lead, and I see what I wanted to do, what I was interested in, and then really from there I would get involved. So there's no, I guess, like limit to like, I guess, or like no date to when you have to join. It's really what you want to do and to inform yourself on that society. What are your options to get involved?